Hi guys, it's Megan. I am a nutritionist and health coach, and I blog over at Skinny Fitalicious. And I'm popping in today to talk to you about why you haven't lost the weight yet, or why you may not be in shape or at the fitness level that you want to be at yet. This topic kind of came up a few weeks ago as I was talking to several of my readers, and the common theme around yo-yo dieting kept coming up over and over again. I don't have willpower, I'm a yo-yo dieter, I'm on the bandwagon one week and then I fall off the next week. And I did 2 free webinars actually this week with a lot of different people that came and talked to them about, why willpower is not the right way to go about making healthy habits in your life to get the changes that you want long term. And this made me go back and review some of the survey results that I had last November on my website. And because I kept thinking, like, is there something else with willpower? Is there something else with yo-yo dieting that I'm missing here? And as I read the survey results, something really key dawned on me. There were hundreds of people, first of all, that responded. So it was a lot of people that responded to the survey. And I would say 25% of the people were successful and said, hey, I have lost, 50 pounds and I've kept it off for a year, or I've lost 10 pounds and I'm still going at it. I feel great. And then 75% of the results were, I keep falling off the wagon and I can't get back on, and I just can't find the motivation, and I have a disease and it's just really hard because I'm tired all the time, or I have menopause. And so it was like 75% of the people were always struggling and 25% of the people were truly succeeding. And what really rang true to me was that the people in the survey that responded in that 75%, they all had this theme of, I can't succeed because of X, Y, Z. And then they would always blame it on something external. Like, I have Hashimoto's disease, I have menopause, I have 3 kids, or I have no willpower. There was always something that followed that blame. And it was never blaming themselves. Hey, I'm blaming me, I'm just messing up and I'm a bad planner. There was never that theme. It was always, I can't succeed because of this, and here's all my excuses why. So I have some really tough, hard love for you today, let's say. It's tough love day. You're not that unique, Buttercup. I'm sorry. Everybody in this world has challenges. Every single person has to get up in the morning, face the day with the same challenges that you do. Maybe not to the same degree that you feel like you're enduring those challenges, but every person in this world has to face issues with their parents and their parents' deteriorating health, having kids, maybe being a single parent, being a working parent, being a single person. I mean, gosh, it's just as hard being a single person, I think, as being married with 2 kids. I mean, just taking care of myself and not having anybody else to help me is very hard. So, I mean, running a household, going to work, working long hours, having somebody smash your car during the day. I mean, all those things happen to people all over the world every single day. And I know it feels like when you're dealing with all of those things every single day, like you're buried under this heaping pile of issues. Like you can never get yourself out of this mountain of all this stuff that's sitting on top of you. You just feel like you're doomed. Like, I'm never going to succeed. I'm pushing a boulder up a mountain, and I know it's so dramatic, and I just can never get there. But these are the real things that I'm hearing from you guys. And so I'm sorry, I'm going to be tough on you, because that is my job as a coach, is to be tough on people and to challenge them to get out of their comfort zones and to stop making excuses and to just do things. Like I said, it's not that hard. Once you start getting into a rhythm and building habits over time, it's so easy. You're not that unique. Every single person has challenges. And you know what? Guess what? There are people in this world who have bigger challenges than you do, and they somehow manage to get up and work out every day, and they somehow manage to meal prep, eat good, get good sleep, drink less caffeine, be less cranky, be more positive, you name it, they've got it. I mean, I know people, I had a client who was suffering from cancer last year, and she does more than some of the people that I have connected with through my website. I mean, she is just amazing. So when you see somebody like that who's so inspiring, who's dealing with such a horrible health issue that you wouldn't wish on your worst enemy, and if they can do it and you can't, what is wrong? I mean, that is the thing that you really have to ask yourself, right? It's not that hard once you get those habits in place, because you're going to build momentum and you're going to crave more of that good stuff. And I really come from this to you, saying you're not that unique. You have the same challenges as every single person in this world. You really do. And I say this because I personally can say that, I can personally say that you don't have those challenges, because I have had those challenges. I have been faced with so much crap and so many health issues and I have overcome every single one of them somehow. And it's not that I'm any better or different than anyone in this world. It doesn't make me, someone who's extra special. It just means that I care about myself enough to go after them. You just have to be willing to take the first step in that right direction, right? I mean, so just to give you some background on me, when I was 21, I had a very bad injury in college from running, and I broke part of my femur, and I was later diagnosed with a disease called avascular necrosis, which means that part of the femur bone died as a result of the injury. So I lived for 18 years with this arthritic pain in my hip, running half marathons. I lost 80 pounds with this bad hip. I mean, I did 12 half marathons in 1 year with a bad hip. And I also suffered from Hashimoto's disease. I had no hormones a couple years ago. All of my hormones shut down because I was so stressed out from my job. My adrenals shut down, my digestion shut down, my reproduction shut down. I had anemia, B12 deficiency. I mean, I wasn't absorbing any nutrients. I was out of control. I thought I was dying. I felt so horrible. So I have been faced with a lot of different challenges in my life. I had a hip replacement 3 months ago. And 2 weeks after the hip replacement, I was in the gym back working out. So when people say, oh my gosh, I have this or I have that, it's just a thing. Get over it. Work through it. I mean, that's what you have to do to get what you want. You can't sit around, believing that you're unique and that you can't do it, because you know what? Those are the things that are holding you back. It's your beliefs. Your beliefs are holding you back. It's not those things that are holding you back. I'm tired. Well, if you go work out for 10, 20 minutes, you're probably not going to be tired. You're probably going to have more energy. So, I mean, just think about what is really standing in your way, because most likely what's standing in your way is you. I mean, and I will tell you, 7 years ago, I was in the same exact place as you were. I was miserable. I was feeling that doomed, buried feeling where I felt like everything in the world was against me. Like I had nothing on my side. I was in a job I hated. I was traveling every single week as a consultant, working 80 hours a week. I mean, it was ridiculous. I had no personal time for myself. I just felt unloved. I felt unworthy. I felt fat and ugly and unlovable. And I had no energy. I was fatigued. I had thyroid problems, probably because, nobody diagnosed me until later in life. Who knows? But I had all these issues, and one day I just had enough. I had all these things crumbling around, and it was just enough to break me. And that one day, I left work early that day, and I went to the beach because it was a block away from my hotel. And you know what? I didn't even know it because I was so busy being crumbled up and sad about all the things that I thought I couldn't control in my life, but I really could. So that night, I went to the beach. I sat on a bench at the beach and I looked down at the boardwalk where all these people were walking and running. And I thought to myself about how miserable I felt. I thought about how I was a 35-year-old woman who was single. I had traveled all over the world, but I hadn't really seen any part of the world. I hadn't really experienced anything I wanted to in life. I hated myself. I didn't love myself. I hated my body. I felt like nobody could ever love me. And I just sat there watching those people walk and watching those people run. And I thought, I need to be on that boardwalk. I need to be there. That needs to be me because all those people look so happy and I want to be happy. So I, that night, decided I'm going to walk for 10 minutes. And you know what? Those were the best 10 minutes of my life because it was in those 10 minutes that I realized that I wasn't that unique. I was the same as every other person on that boardwalk. I had a choice though. I could be on that boardwalk or I could sit on that bench the rest of my life being cranky and crabby about what life had dealt me. It dealt me some shitty cards and I was upset about it. I was upset that I couldn't run anymore. I was upset that, I hadn't been married and all my friends were married and already had kids. I was mad. I was mad at this world for not giving me everything I dreamed of since I was a little girl. So I walked. I walked for 10 minutes and then I told myself, next week, I'm going to walk for 15 minutes. I'm going to go for gold. So I went for 15 minutes that week, every single night after work. And you know what? It made me feel incredible. I felt empowered, like I could do anything. Those 15 minutes, it was all that it took to make me feel like I could do anything. And as I walked every single week, I would walk a little bit more, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And soon I was walking 6-7 miles every single night after work. And you know what I thought about while I was walking? I thought about all the things that I wanted to do and change about myself, all the things I really wanted to experience in life, and how I had been trying to make other people happy my whole life, but never stopped to try to really make myself happy. And I see this all the time with my one-on-one clients. They put their kids and their husbands and their families first, but they don't put themselves first. And then all of a sudden they get sick and it's like they don't know what to do. They're totally lost. So what I'm trying to tell you is that you could just take 10 minutes every single day to do one thing. One thing. And that one thing is going to give you so much momentum to do so much more. Because in my case, those 10 minutes ended up being 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 miles. And soon I was doing half marathons again. Soon I was eating healthy because when you start exercising, somehow you want to start eating healthier because you realize that eating junk, you have junky workouts, and so you want to eat better because you want to exercise better, and so they both kind of go together. So suddenly I was doing that. Suddenly I was losing 20 pounds. Suddenly I was losing 40 pounds. Suddenly 80 pounds. I went from a size 14 to a size 2 in a year. It wasn't planned. It wasn't intentional. It wasn't like I had this grand weight loss program that I followed. No, I just got healthy by making one healthy habit change at a time. So no, Buttercup, you are not unique. You're not somebody special with a special circumstance or a special challenge. Everybody has challenges, but it's how you deal with it that makes you unique. It's the question of, are you willing to take that first step? Are you willing to get off the bench and go and make it happen for yourself? That's the question, because the only thing standing in the way is you. You're what's standing in your way. None of those challenges. I have people writing to me all the time about my hormone imbalances, about my lack of estrogen, about my Hashimoto's disease, saying, I have a bulgy waist, I can't get rid of my waist, and ever since I hit menopause or because of my Hashimoto's, I just can't lose weight around my waist. Well, I have those things and I don't have a waist, but it's because I have made those healthy changes in my life and I have kept them consistent. But I didn't just start out one day saying, I'm going to do all 50 of them all today. No, I didn't do that. I started off with one thing. Remember? I started off by walking 10 minutes. 10 minutes every single day for 1 week. And then the next week, 15 minutes. And then I started drinking more water. And then I started kind of decreasing the caffeine. And then I started walking a little bit more. And then I said, well, maybe I should cut out my venti cafe mocha that I get at Starbucks. That's 500 calories every day, because that's a lot, and it kind of makes me feel cruddy with all the extra sugar and fat. So maybe I'll just try regular coffee. So I did that. And then I walked a little bit more. And then I started wanting to eat salads, because somehow in me, as I started exercising more, I started wanting and craving those better foods. So you see, it only takes one habit to completely change your life. And I think back to that moment all the time, those 10 minutes on Redondo Beach, that's where I was in California. And I think about how if I hadn't taken that step off of that bench and taken those 10 minutes, my life would not be what it is today. I mean, after that, I ended up starting my blog, Skinny Fitalicious, which completely took off by surprise. I mean, I've only been blogging now. It just turned 3 years old in last November. And I've got hundreds of thousands of followers. It's insane. I can't even keep up some days. And now I'm a health coach and I'm a nutritionist. And some mornings I wake up and I think, I am so blessed. I am so blessed that those 10 minutes happened and that I had the courage to make the changes. And you know what, guys? You have the courage too. You might not be unique with your challenges that you're faced with every single day, but you have courage. I know it. Every single person that's watching this has courage, but you just have to be willing to take that step. And one thing I wanted to mention to you guys is that I think that sometimes we're not only overwhelmed by the amount of changes that we make, but I think that we also don't have the moral support around us. So either we don't have the support of our family, we don't have the support of our friends, a neighbor, whoever is in your life that is consistently in your life that kind of gives you that support and that positive momentum. If those people aren't supporting you in the goals that you have and in the journey that you have, it's really a great option to work with somebody like me who's a health coach, because I can give you that moral support. As a matter of fact, I had a client this morning. She sent me a feedback form in and she said, you know, Megan, the most unexpected thing I got out of working with you was the moral support. She's like, I didn't realize how much I really needed that. And you know how much weight she lost? 60 pounds working with me. And I almost cried when I read her feedback, because it was just so incredible to think that that used to be me, and now I'm helping other people make those healthy changes. So I hope that's going to be you. I would love to work with you if that is something that you are willing to do. But again, you have to be willing to take that step. So as a last reminder, I want to remind you guys that I have my winter group coaching opening up. The registration is open now, so you can go to Skinny Fitalicious. It's called Eat to Lose Weight. You can get the online program and you can get the winter group coaching program with it. I'm only accepting 8 people and there's only 1 slot left. As a matter of fact, I'm not sure yet, I might be opening a second winter group coaching session for those that couldn't get in because there has been such high demand. And I would love to have you there. But again, Eat to Lose Weight is an online program that I created for those of you who are not able to work with me one-on-one. It's an online course, 8 weeks. So every single week, I'm going to email you videos, example meal plans, as well as tips, an implementation plan, and a ton of moral support. So there's over 20 videos in this 8-week series that I have. And I am giving you everything that I wish I had known 35 years ago, so I could have lost weight and not have battled almost my entire life feeling like I was nothing because of my weight. No. Now I'm just going to give it to you in this series so that you can have the tools that you need to be successful. Okay? So, but the thing is that the program closes for the registration this Monday, so you have to get in as soon as possible. And remember, for those of you that get a friend to join with you, big giveaway here, If you get a friend to join with you, you get 50% off. You get to share it with your friend. So one of you buys it, one of you gets it free. So basically you split the cost with your friend. So that is an amazing deal, guys. So with that, I will leave you guys those thoughts to think about on why you're not in shape and why you're not losing the weight. If you have questions, you can drop them in the comments below or email me at megan@skinnyfitalicious.com. I will also leave the link to Eat to Lose Weight and my winter group coaching in the Facebook Live so that you can access the link directly from there. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to reach out to me. I love to hear from you. Bye guys, have a great weekend.